The day that Nico Harrison was fired.
An odd feeling.
Yeah. It's I'm trying to come up with the analogy. Certainly, any of this will diminish the analogy that I'm trying to reach for, like that particular situation, to compare it to this sports thing.
Everyone keeps saying, like, oh, your wife got run through by another. I'm like, give me that. I'd rather have Luka back. None of the analogies work. But what a weird turn of events where, like, last night the story was the kid who his dad owns a dealership. The kid in the Luka jersey he's down there apologizing, which I immediately thought was a psyop. I'm like, I don't know what this shit is, but I know this isn't just this kid deciding to do this.
Like he gave the finger to Patrick Dumont or something?
On opening night.
And perhaps he's been waiting to apologize, but Patrick Dumont doesn't live here, doesn't care about this city at all. He flew in for this. So this was only the second game he's been to. It's not like he's on the sideline like Mark Cuban and actually.
No, that's true. But also his dad, who is like a local Kia owner, not of a vehicle, of several dealerships, definitely knows when Dumont is going to be there. His tickets are 2-3 rows behind. So somehow they knew he was going to be there, and the kid's like, I want to apologize, which means his dad made him.
Well, they might be there every game.
That's true, too.
That's
but he wore the Luka jersey.
Yeah.
A little extra Gen Z snark. I like that. Like, I'm here to apologize, but...
Right, and then somebody interviewed him afterwards, and he's like, oh, yeah, Dumont showed remorse. He said it was a bad idea.
Like, if that was true, then this had to happen. Like, you can't let a kid... You don't think Dumont knows what he's doing?
I think he flew in here to fire Nico. He didn't fly in and then decide after last night's 2-point loss, 1-point loss, whatever it was.
Yeah, no.
Where the fire Nico chants were raining down.
Well, he was sitting there.
Other stories that were coming out was that Nico had actually ordered a special walkway so that he could leave without having to walk through the fans.
Yeah, I like it. In my mind, it was like motorized, you know? Again, grandma's boy, Blake, like he just stands there and it moves like he's an emperor.
Slowly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's not like, okay, Nico is fired. Cool, I'm back. Cool, let's see. I'm not excited. I'm not excited that the at least initial reports are that Michael Finley and someone else will be.
Riccardi's a dog. I like him.
Well,
it's unfortunate that he's here. He's from here. Used to work for the Nets, but I don't know how it's all going to work out. I don't know how I feel about it going forward, but dude, you got to think, like, you know how these people move. They don't give a fuck about anybody they're railroading ever. And lo and behold, they just got forced to do something by Mavericks fans. So I'm actually pretty proud of whatever small part, not me, but the whole thing, the annoying fire Luka guy.
I saw what you said on the Soch, and I agree.
It's true. These people don't get told what to do ever. Even if this is a small thing, they come into places, they decide how it's going to go, they extract all the money, and they don't care how anybody is affected.
But the people who were yelling, it's time to move on, and let's root for this team. And your point was, if you had moved on, and this guy would still be here.
They didn't fire him because they're 2-7.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is. They fired him because people wouldn't shut up about it. Even after – see, they probably thought, all right, we got the Great White Hope in here. We got another one. Shut up. Chill out for a little bit. And that didn't happen.
Hey, everybody's going to be fired up here.
No. And, see, I thought that they would, in this weird non-rational actor model that we're having to evaluate their actions through, that they would just keep Nico because they literally believed that trading Luka got them – Cooper Flag in some insane, level of machinations. But even that wasn't enough.
Because fortune favors the bold.
That's right. And I'm excited for we were talking about this weekend because we just talk sports. We're hanging out. Just the triple suicide pact of all three of these guys. And somebody is going to get fired, and now it's Nico, and that person is probably not going to be quiet.
Well,
I
who
can
knows
tell
when
you
he's
this.
getting paid off?
Well, yeah, and there may be some stipulations in there where it takes an amount of time. You think Kidd would be just like, I'll take my medicine here if they fired him? Kidd is running to the media to burn anybody else down he can. It's what he's always done.
Yeah, he's got to make sure he does not take fault for anything that goes wrong.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if, there may be parameters around what Nico's allowed to say, but I wouldn't be surprised if he starts shitting on everything Mavs right away. Like, what was I supposed to do? It's the owner's fault.
Here's what they need to do with Nico, though. How long is this contract? When does it end?
I don't even know.
Is it up this year?
They gave him an extension like right before the season where they traded Luka, I'm pretty sure. And Kidd just got his, which again, why? If you thought you might be firing Nico mid-season, then why even extend Kidd? Because now they need to trade Kyrie, right? Like, obvious what needs to happen.
They need to trade everything that's
not.
Not that I care, but I can say this as an outside observer, like I would if Memphis had done this or Indiana or whatever. I wish I was a removed outside observer just to say, yeah, you clearly need to trade the aging assets and build around Cooper Flagg. That is what you should do. He seems to be a very good player, but he needs certainly a different cast. Luka needed a certain kind of players around him, and now they have those certain kind of players around Cooper Flagg, and it doesn't fit. Even if you look back at Cuban, we've never really gotten the full story on him selling to these people.
That's the question I get the most from my family who thinks I'm like big sports guy, and they're not really. They're like, well, why'd Cuban let him do it? Why'd he give him the team? It's like the most basic thing of, how did you not know who was buying your team? Remember what Machine told us? They were in Dubai with the team the year before they bought the team. So, like, this was not a surprise to him that this was who was going to buy the team. I would have thought, if I'm egotistical like Cuban, that I would have been like, hey, the guy that I'm leaving here, I don't know. You may want to put a buffer in there, kind of how I was. Because, Cuban, he was already suspect of Nico by that point. Like, the power play was happening. So I've never understood why Cuban didn't put a more...
Well, what I mean is, by all reports from people who know these things, business people, he sold it for below market value.
A little below, yeah. There was certainly not a bidding war.
Sure, and then you could put that exact same description on the Luka trade. He traded for below market value, and there was no bidding war. It all happened suddenly and behind closed doors.
As far as what happens now, here's the statement, which arrived in our inboxes this morning from Gina Miller, who is apparently now the head of PR for the Mavs.
Yeah, it's a new position, Chief Communications Officer.
They might have called Scooter that at one point. But the lady that I had been trying to deal with, while he was visiting his dying mom, Dirk, who went to go work for Dirk now in the Dirk Foundation. But Gina Miller's apparently in charge of PR now of FC Dallas, but also of Bally and Fox Sports our whole lives. Dallas Mavericks governor Patrick Dumont today announced that the organization has relieved Nico Harrison of his role as general manager and president of basketball operations effective immediately. In conjunction, we've appointed Michael Finley and Matt Riccardi as co-interim GMs to oversee basketball operations. Quote from Dumont, "This decision reflects our continued commitment to building a championship-caliber organization, one that delivers for our players, our partners, and most importantly, our fans." Our partners? Again, the only thing this guy... He doesn't even know you're not supposed to say that part.
Yeah, who cares? Nobody gives a flying F about your financial partners.
TheParkingSpot.com.
Yeah.
And
nobody is worried about your financial partners.
We want to make sure that...
At all.
What a dork.
But so now they're committed to building. Like, they bought it at that point.
Yeah.
they're going to build a championship contender. They bought a championship contender.
Well, we know they didn't know what they bought. They didn't know what they were doing.
Right.
They
he's
got
standing there with
hoodwinked a
the
little bit
confetti
themselves.
when he's raising the trophy, the Western Conference trophy. He's like, this is great, man. This is what you do?
And
Cool, let's do some wheeling and dealing.
What would really make me happy is to know that, like in Slapshot, they feel shame.
Well,
when they're explaining slashing, you
so
just go to the penalty box, feel shame. They don't.
That is what brings me to what I want to see happen in the very near future. What I want is they are not – well, if they're firing him, they have to pay him, right? And when the Stars fired Ken Hitchcock many years ago –
it's not going to happen, Dan.
They actually they used his services as a hockey coach. They said, we're paying you $4 million a year, not as a hockey coach, as a hockey scout. And you will scout for us. And he did until he got another job elsewhere in the NHL. I want them to reassign him to the front gate. He is going to be an usher. He is going to be someone that, maybe it gives you the wand when you're going through the metal after you go through the metal detector, but it's still beeped. Now the guy's got to wand you. Although they more often than not just wave you through potential terrorist.
Unless you have a vape, which all of a sudden they're all hot about.
Did you get your vape confiscated?
I have.
Okay.
Multiple times. Like, they'll wand you for it. They don't care about anything else. But
when I went to the Nate Bargatze, they couldn't find out what was beeping on me. He's like, go on. He's like, he knew. But yeah, I want him to be shamed.
Maybe Champ.
I want him to have to show
They
up.
could be Champ.
Mavs man.
Put his face on the screen anytime you want, like the other team is shooting free throws, so you just put Nico's face up there.
If they had any balls, if they had any at all, you could get the whole stadium rocking every free throw, opposing free throw. Because, they're not going to sell the team. I know that everybody's like, next, sell the team. Well, that's not going to happen. But I do like a world where they're kind of scared of the fans. You better get ready to learn luxury tax language, buddy, because we're taking you for everything you've got. If you're going to own this thing, you now have to become – nobody ever walks again. We pay everyone. We go way over the tax. You owe us for all the years you owed us. So now they need to hire somebody that they. Do
you know how hard
Dennis Lindsay is a great executive? They can't hire Dennis Lindsay, like the former assistant GM, the Jazz GM. They need to hire Steve Nash or somebody that you can just immediately you're like, I don't care, I feel good, dude.
I'm initially against the Dirk GM hire just because
I don't want Dirk going through that.
Yeah, Dirk is beloved, and I don't want to see that Dirk can't be a good GM. Because I
agree.
I think a good GM is someone who's going to, actually.
But
be
Steve
a GM.
Nash has already expressed interest in roles like coaching.
Maybe.
I want my Steve Kerr.
Yeah.
By the way, the extension for Nico was right before. It was in June, so
right before what?
The season started.
After the Luka trade?
Or
was it the year before? Please, it was the year before.
Okay, June 2024.
Yeah.
No, Luka.
Yeah,
Luka was traded
February
in November of
this year.
February of
That was
this
like
year.
a vote of confidence. I'm going to give you a new deal.
No, it's before the trade, but right before the trade, 6 months before the trade.
It was February of last year.
This year.
Who's on first?
February 2025 is when Luka got traded.
Yeah, and he was high. He was extended right before the
June
season.
of 24.
So they extended him.
It's been a long-ass year, man.
Yeah, I thought it was like 3 years ago Luka was traded.
No.
But so he got through one season. That one. And then
the end of the season, yeah.
And they fired him 10 games into. So he, his extension lasted one season and 10 games.